Hey, buddy, why don't you and me, we have a little talk about the like button down here? I hit it. I think you should hit it too. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the family.
I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad.
The most beautiful cowbell you've ever heard, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to that sustain. It's like a Les Paul of the cowbells, it is. Just need a little cowbell to make you feel a little bit better about today. You know, the numbers may be going down. Those candles may be red. That portfolio may be shrinking, but you still got a little cowbell. Just to clear the air.
Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete. I got my eyes on you, and you got no clue what I'm supposed to do. I can't help myself. Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete. No, you wouldn't take what's not yours. If you know who I am, when the night will fall, I'll haunt your dreams. Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete.
Thank you very much.
There's too much smoking stuff going on around here. What? What? Got the twitchies. Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto with Road Dog. I am Turkey Dog here filling in for Road tonight. Who best to deliver this depressing news than a beautiful, handsome turkey face? Appreciate you guys for being here, hanging out with me. And here we are on the 4 hour. I find it so interesting with the moving averages, how the 50 crossed the 200 there and said, bye, baby, bye. It's time to buy. That's a buy signal. It's not just, it honestly is a buy signal. Worst one ever played out. Wow. You don't normally see it happen that bad. And then look, and then she crossed again, bearish over that 200 just recently. Yesterday, and that was a sell signal. Gosh darn it, wasn't it, though? Who broke Bitcoin this time? Was it one of you guys? You can tell me, but I probably wouldn't. Probably don't do it. Don't do it. Don't tell me. Don't let the secret out. Because they'll dogpile you. 15-minute. Ooh. 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 Not on fire. Or not a good fire. Hey, you guys remember us talking about, this MACD over here on the 2-week bearish across, and though price was like at 60-something thousand. We're like, woo, going to 70,000. Wow. That guy. Blame it on this guy. And here we are on the weekly. She keeps going down, but there is. I just want to keep pointing this out. I'll keep pointing it out until it changes and I look like a genius. No, I'm kidding. There's a little bit of bullish divergence forming just on the indicator alone. Now on price action, well, that's just that's a hodgepodge of whatever. There was a little something here we got to pump up, and then we came back down. We've got just a hodgepodge of that's the word for the day, folks. Hodgepodge. I woke up this morning and said, Road Dog, I got a challenge for you. I got to use the word hodgepodge today. Thank you for being my guinea pigs and for sharing that moment with me, that hodgepodge moment. Well, it had a target. We talked about this target, about 55,200-ish or whatever, and it seems crazy until that one day that the bottom falls out of Bitcoin, and here we are. Gosh darn it. Now, we didn't quite touch it. We didn't quite touch it. We wanted to touch it. It wanted to touch it, but it didn't touch it. We got a nice long wick going right there. That's a very impressive wick, I must say. I mean, if I walked around with a wick like that, I would be commanding attention. That's a pretty nice, it's a skinny one, but it's still impressive nonetheless. Right there, I'm indicating all the buy orders pushing price back up, and here we are back at 57,000. When we drop down to 55,629. Well, it was exactly on this dotted trend line. I'm just having to look around. That's crazy, though. Did that work? Oh my God. All right, because I just happened to stumble back on the, hey, do you remember us taking this angle and all this other stuff? Yeah, we took our angles from right over here, and then we put it down here as a, this is the last thing in the sand that I've got. And she breaks this, that I don't know what to say. Look what she did. This is the power of trend lines and angles. At least that's what I'm going to say, because this is darn impressive, and that's all I can say. But we just kind of have to look over there. Let's see if there's anything. Do we have anything else juicy over here? She's in our nice juicy buy area. She's in it right now. if you are a risk taker and you don't think that this is going to 30,000 or going to 52,000, or maybe it goes down a little bit more, but you believe in a buy zone, this is an old buy zone that we got. This is the buy zone. This is the sell zone. And we're just going through my old charts is all we're doing. I got crap everywhere. This one has nothing. Well, this one clearly was stopped out of any idea that it had going to the moon. It was. We also had 55,200 on this little guy. I think we just saw this one. Road Dog, what are you doing? I'm just looking for stuff. Excuse me for looking. We got a 200 moving average crossing over Lucy up here. Lucy, if you know, she's if there's something funky going on in the market, I usually find her just smack dab right in the middle of it. She's this red line right here. It's a 600 moving average. Now this orange one's an 800, and that's kind of a big deal. And the yellow one's a 200, and that's also a big deal. Well, we're under all three of them, which is even a bigger deal. The good news is this is a 1 hour time frame, so the bigger picture things like for how things play out in a week, yeah, this does not matter. This is where I confuse you with the roulette of time frames here. Bigger time frames win. We'll go to the weekly just to get a little figure out where we are with Bitcoin. We've got a good chance to bounce at 55. If that doesn't hold, we got a chance at 52. We start touching this green cloud though, I'm gonna be saying I scared. I don't like it. She says 49 to 50, maybe lower, maybe 44. I don't even want to talk that way. Some people are already talking that way. I don't. Why? I don't like that tone of voice. I don't like that Fibonacci. What's up with this Fibonacci? Why are you down here? Oh yeah, swing low to swing high. I got you. I'm with you. I'm still there. So the cloud is a little bit concerned if we look at that on the weekly. You know, there's also this little thing called a red dot here on market cipher. It doesn't sound good, does it? It's okay though. I mean, the stochastics are buried and they can stay there. It could look better. I will agree. It could look better. Now, if you've been shorting this market, well, you made a little bit. First off, found it a little frustrating to try to short this whole move, even at the tops. I actually did try to short it up here, but it was so frustrating to get it kicked off. I would say that chalk that up to experience or something, a lack of this experience. Because it just kind of wore me out with it, and then she took off. And I think that's a common problem that we find when we try to short those really good areas. And you're like, because after it does break through, I knew it was going to do that. It broke my trend line, don't it? Like when she breaks trend lines, short. That's what we look for, but do we execute? So I didn't really execute that well up there because I kind of lost confidence in it. Well, it made me look like an idiot. So here we are, Ichimoku Clouds telling me we got a bunch of chop. All of our moving averages here on the daily have flipped over bearish, and we are below every gosh darn dang one of them. And the only ray of sunshine that you can get is that's exactly where you need to be if you ever want to bounce back the other way. I kid you not. When price does get far away from all these moving averages, when we get below them all, and they're all, you know, there's a point where she starts snapping back to them. Most notably the 9 or whatever's closest first. And right now that's hanging around this little fib area. We got about 58. We might snap back there. I see a lot of chop. Ichimoku Cloud clearly spells out a lot of chop. In my personal opinion, they're wanting to scare us out of this market. Do keep in mind that the happening was back in April, May, June, July, August, September. We're 5 months in, 6 months in October. We should be feeling that full, or they should be feeling that full force, and all that low supply of Bitcoin that's on the exchanges even as we speak, lowest it's ever been, and we're at record levels and has been for a while. Well, that will come into high demand. And the law of supply and demand says that if there's a big demand of something that's in low supply, nobody's letting go of it. They diamond handing it. I don't say diamond handing it, but holding it like sensible people do. Well, numbers should go up. There are lots of arguments about the ETFs, just ruining it for us and everything. So here's what I got. I got a swing low to a swing high. Tell me where I need to buy, and she comes down just on this last leg in our little reversal area. So there's a good chance that we got at least a local bottom that might get us back up to 58,000-ish. Now, if you have not de-risked and you're caught on the bad side of this, that might help you out a little bit. If you were over here going, I'm going long. Or maybe you got stuck in a long buying at the tops or something because the flag boys were out today. I'm just telling you, the flag boys were out. And it's just a sad day in the market for Bitcoin and everything else. Not too bad, but I mean, I don't like what I'm seeing here on the Ichimoku Cloud. That makes me a little kind of nervous how she's dropped down over here and got thin. You see that? She's starting to get, she's got a little pointy point. She just kind of fell off over here. And that could be another move. We didn't touch the 618. I think that we will probably end up touching it. It may be a slow burn down there. And let this kind of fill out just a little bit. So we might have a, oh gosh, darn boring week. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say that we're working on getting a little bit of a retracement right now, back up to about 58.3 in these areas. You can, yep, right there, 58. Well, we got what, 58.2. And this little area right here, 57,680. Looks to me about where price will be coming back up to just to kind of test those areas and probably roll over. If it does roll over, then we're starting to look at 55, maybe into 54. 54,400 area, but let's see what do we do over here. We can also bounce. We got a little bit of a trend line over here, wick through it, okay, but it's still a channel. We're still in a channel that breaks to the upside. We got that for us. It's not all over and done with, and even here on the 1 hour, I mean, we still got some hope in some of the moving averages up here. So I would say that over the next few hours, we'll probably see this come back as a bounce, and then support resistance flippy. And there's going to be a lot of resistance there, and a lot of people or programs or whatever, a lot of orders sitting there to have to get through. And if we do, could have a nice little squeeze and come back up here and then roll over. So we got those two little ideas going on. We can roll over here, or maybe roll over here, but we'll probably roll over again. I'm just saying. I think they're going to drag us out all week on this. So this is the time when I like to come over here and, oh, looky here. Is that a blue? Did you nail it? No, it is. No, it's off just a little bit, but if we're in horseshoes, then hell yeah. I want to move that up right on the line there. We came down to 530, and I had 528. Dudes, I'm sorry. I can't get her every time. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'll try to do better next time. That candle ain't over. I didn't nail it. You could catch and bounce here, baby. Why don't you try to do that? Why don't you try to do that? Let's look at the total 3 real quick. Come here, total 3. This represents all of our altcoins, just as a general overview. What we got going on the daily here? I mean, MACD is going south. RSI is headed south. It's under 50. It's at 48. So when your RSI is hanging out below 50, we're considered bearish, kind of like being below the 200 moving average. We're considered, they're feeling kind of bearish. The weather smells a little berry. All these moving averages have flipped over, but our bigger ones, 800, 600, 300 are holding, and 200 even are all holding up and to the right. There's some momentum there. I see more chop than I do drop, in my personal opinion. Now, though, this market makes a fool of me often, but especially if I ever get cocky. I think when anybody gets cocky, the market will just totally humble you. It has a way of doing that. Now, if we look for measured moves, it looks like we met it, and I know it sounds crazy, but that's just how this works. If that didn't look familiar to you, let me finish. See, we're kind of in this channel thingy idea, and there, that was the width of the channel there. So by measured moves, we could be at a turnaround point, possibly a good bottom target. So we got that idea. It's also at a 360 moving average, which acts as support, and it kind of did a pretty decent job right over here, and it could do a decent job again for us. Again, 600 above the 800, that is good for more upward momentum. And this being the daily, it's got a little bit more weight than some of the other charts. So I think we got a good little chance for a little bit of relief. And I've been talking about day cap bounces in my titles, and that's kind of basically what this woof equivalent to, minus the sans the trend line. If it is day cap bounce, it can definitely continue, and we could come back all the way back and retest all these areas that we were at before. So you got to keep that in mind and keep that in your plan. That's not out of the question that can happen. Well, guys, what's up? What's a happening? We got Joe from Trade Intuition, who was first 4 times today. First time I've seen anybody be first 4 times in one day. That's amazing. And we got Strega and his tacos. Rising Sun says, "Lick the button now, everyone." I second that. I second that emotion. we have talks and whispers of fanny packs. We got Sam Webb. How's it going, Sam? And we got Jackson. Jackson says, "Fetch." Let's take a look at Fetch. That one I have just got sitting in a wallet. I was building a bag and adding to a bag of it on spot margin, and then I guess in the conversion or whatever, they did away with that pair. Which also, if you're trading Matic or Polygon over on CoinEx on the spot margin, they are. I noticed today I saw one that they're going to be getting rid of that pair. I think it's on Saturday, but you might want to make sure that you settle that stuff up. Or that's not a fun thing to go through. He's like, "What happened to my position?" And it's, it's like, "Well, you have these many coins now." So let's take a look at some of these altcoins. We'll take a look at Fetch AI. Soon to be ASI. They ever get their token swap stuff. There's a green box. That's normally like a buy zone, and that held pretty nice until recently. No targets were harmed in this trade setup, ladies and gentlemen. So breaking the trend line, that's one of the places I look to get in and get into a trade, and is worth taking. And unfortunately, now she is still not, and so it can still do it, but you need some convictions. Because in my personal opinion, she's breaking some rules right here. She's breaking some trend lines. So breaking this trend line is kind of that's a hey man, 116 was a good time to make sure you pay yourself. And if we go back up there, you might want to take a little bit of profit. I'm just saying, just throwing some ideas out there. It could be a bearish retest of that. I just drawing this trend line from there. Now, if you got all picky about it and went by how we originally started over here, you can see that we broke it over here, came back, and we found some support here on this moving average, or it acts as support. I could say that. We'll come back for a bearish retest. Now, if you ask me, that is the actual move to be looking at. And if you wanted to take a measured move from this, just to get an idea, which maybe it'll take. Oh Lord, you don't want that measure moving. It can take us all the way back down to 80 cents. That sucks. Don't leave. Forget I said it. I didn't say anything. I didn't say 80 cents. Nobody wants to hear that, Road Dog. It does not have to roll that way, people. It does not have to roll that way. Moving averages look good being above the 200. Prices above the 200. We like that. Best thing to do in this situation is just pull your fibs out. Well, I got caught in Walmart parking lot today playing with my fibs right there in the parking lot. I couldn't help it. Had to see what it looked like. I had to get a new phone today because the other one got kind of crushed in my chair. That kind of sucks. Yeah, it's always so fun to start out anew. I got some free tablets out of that deal though, so that might be interesting. 105 could be on the picture, man. The 200 moving average is down here. Now, she does not have to come down here and touch it, but she could. $1. It could happen. I like the cloud. It's thickening up a little bit. There's a little bit of hope. We also got these other moving averages above us that could, we could go back and say hi to them again, and that would be good. If we do that, that'd give us a bounce off this 100 moving average. So there's some bullish things to be seen here, bullish ideas. She's not totally bearish just quite yet. One thing that I like is the way that the stochastics are just buried there. Now, true, this momentum wave is just now getting started, so don't get too cocky about it. Our RSI is at 38. Now, when she starts dripping below 30 and those stochastics are buried down out there at the bottom, to me, that would probably be the time to start looking, where is price at right now? Is it a good time to buy? That's a little secret that I don't get a chance to talk very much, but that's one of the best little buy signals I've ever found is when stochastics are at the bottom, say where they come to the 30 or so below it, and then they come back up, and when they cross the 30, that's a technical buy signal, right? What I like to look for is for stochastics to be buried on a bigger time frame. And if I can catch this on multiple time frames, it's even more powerful. But the bigger time frames I catch this on, dailies and 4 hours, where the bottom is at the 38, and especially when it's starting to come back in, and this is the regular RSI, and the stochastics RSI, which for me is over here, is part of market cipher. So this is it, this ribbon down here, and she's at the bottom now. So if I see the RSI come down and start to swerve back up, and the stochastics, in other words, are bottom at the same time on bigger time frames, that's a buy signal. That's a bottom, and that's a good bottom buy. So fetch, we could see 105 come in the picture. That could definitely happen. Let's do a little fib magic here just to see what we're gonna go. Oh, nice. Okay, you're at the 886 level right now. That's from this low to this high, and that's kind of shaky, but that is what we got, a low to a high. Tell me where I'm going to buy, and it's spitting out 107 is a 886 area, which we spiked up from. That was cool. Bitcoin did the same thing. Bitcoin came to an 886 level. That's where we got our spike in this last move. So I find that interesting. So that gives some hope that now we can take a fib from high to low. Tell me where price is going to go. And she is oh, cool. All right, so from here, on the 4-hour chart, price is above our 236 level, so that's a good sign. The other place she could roll over is at 114. If she recovers that, oh, we're looking good for 119. If she can't recover that, well, we're either coming back down here. It puts on when we can't get above here, especially if we can't get above a 236, it starts putting a lower low in the picture for that $1 area. So that's why if you wonder if we're going to go to $1, depends on if we can get up above 115-ish. If we can't get above 115, then we're likely to come down to $1.07. And maybe down to an actual dollar. That would be the sign to look for. If we can get above that, well, then we've solidified our area here. We may come back and retest $1.12. And that's common. Below here would be accumulation. And if we can't get above there, and then 119 and maybe up to 122, there might be a little bit of recovery. So that's what I see out of Fetch AI. There's Derek Adams. How's it going, my man? And Dr. Doomer, glad to have you again. Don't whiz on the electric fence. That is sage advice if I have ever heard it, Derek. That deserves a little cowbell action. With the new beautiful cowbell. Look at this little thing. It's got so much sustain. Just uplifting. Did you feel it? Namaste. Namaste right here. Look at these charts. All right, we look at the FET. And I like what I see for a possible bell. I think she could possibly have a little recovery going on here. A little, shorter time frames. I'm seeing recovery. I'm talking about like up to 115. Remember, we saw in the bigger thing that if we can get above that area, that is good. Maybe we'll get that. Looks like the 1 hour market cipher's liking it. There is, it's not the greatest divergence, but there is a weak form of divergence right here and on the RSI down here. Suggesting that, yeah, we could recover that 9 moving average on the 1 hour and then start making our way back up toward 115. If we get past 115, that remains to be seen, though. So some coins that may be on the list that might be worth looking at that are down a little bit right now. Pendle, let's take a look at Pendle. How big of a drop did you go? What are you saying here on the 4 hour? You got more? There got some more to go? I gotta zoom out. We gotta, oh yeah, well Pendle may keep going cheaper here now. Oh, we don't like that though. She's at the bottom of a trend line that needs to hold. This old guy needs to hold, man. We're down here too at 277. Wow. So if you got huevos of steel, if you've been doing your 7-minute buttocks and developing those huevos of steel, I like mine down here. I'm just saying. Risk to reward ratio and all that kind of good jazz. I will go from this high down to this low, and that was a big low down at 180. During the big old drop. The wick through that trend line, weakening it. I'm not going to lie, these bigger time frames are suggesting that she could break through that. That would suck. I really don't want to see that at all. Let me take one other measurement here. For the whole move, bottom to top, 786. That's Stochastics are rolling over from the top tops. MACD though is I mean, she could roll over too, but she's looking kind of happy. There's some mixed signals here, and I would I would risk it. I would. You'd have to get a comfortable stop loss, but I would be looking really at that. Would it be worth it? Would it be worth it? Just to come back up to our first target area at $4 be 50% if it can get up there. Just to come back to the top where we were before at 349. That's a pretty good risk reward ratio. Because this is on the daily time scale. And if she did start, I like this, about an 8% stop loss, maybe under some of these candles. This one over here, man, that was too low to put a stop loss under. I'm sorry, but you get like some of those morning shows putting a 33% stop loss on some of these things. But putting it under the trend line would be something I would look. Well, shoot, gosh darn it, you got you something here. Oh my gosh, you did break that. Your safest thing to do would be to wait for a confirmed bounce. Otherwise, you're catching a falling knife, which I have an inkling to want to do that. I don't want to set people up to do that, and that's what will be happening if you don't wait for a confirmed bounce. And even then, there's no guarantees that it won't lose this trend line. Because it lost this one makes me think, and because it lost this before, this trend line is weak. So if she comes down here, she could easily go through. So I just got to throw that out there. But this is where I like to get in on little areas like that. So if I see a bounce here, then I might be getting me some pendle. I'm already getting some pendle. I'd be adding to my position is what I would be doing personally. Bitcoin dumps while Velo and Sphinx pumps. All right, Justin Crypto. Let's take a look at Velo. How's Velo doing? Still holding it up there. Oh, still working toward that measure move. It sounds crazy until that one day, right? So measure move from the double bottom here gets us up in this area somewhere around 173. We are currently at what 15.0156 right now. Let's see how well is that holding up here. The main trend line is this guy right here. We're going to color him a different color. Make him big, thick, and red. You can see that. If we lose that, then no bueno. This one, they only had 2 humps. Most of the time, we're looking for 3 humps in the dump. We even saw that on Bitcoin recently. But she broke that early, come back, and now she's doing a bearish retest. So this one's going to get a little iffy. What we do have is another point down here that we can establish our new trend line on. And there we go. Now we've got a channel. Let's get this guy out of the way. He's getting on my nerves there. And then we got a channel idea that we're in right now. And that looks like good confirmation to me. Tops over here, tops here, tops here. And that means we can head up to the tops of the channel, about 0.016, or come down to the bottoms, or more. And that's on the 4-hour time frame. Look on the 1 hour, she looks good. Moving averages look good. They're all the way that they're supposed to be down through here. She's above the 9. Price is above the 9 and the 21. So we just got to see the 9 moving average cross the 21, and then they're all set to keep on rocking. Don't come a knocking if the prices are rocking. So this area down here may not be seen, or may not be seen for a while. Depends on what goes on over here. But right now in the 1 hour, she's ready to roll. Stella's trying to get her groove on. TA Al BitTensor also. Lucky yeah, reaching our target area of $240, which is the targets that I like to go for, areas that we can bounce from. That's what I look for when I put a target out, or reversal areas, whether they're local or if they stick. Hopefully they stick. But this area 240 was a good place to find to just plant some targets and some limit orders, which is my strategy. You can catch that little sucker build in the back, but you can come over here at 265 and roll over, so that's a good place to take a little bit of profit. If you're lucky enough to get in at that area and can get up there, it's just about 10% gain. Not the biggest profit taking area, but she is likely to maybe roll over here. And doesn't mean that she can go lower, but that nice wick suggests that maybe we can not have that, and we just kind of double bottom or something too here. Most likely what I would see there. We do have this little thing, this little idea where she might kind of find some support. But it is definitely not off the table that she can come down and make a lower low. That's where your fibs would come in handy, in my personal opinion. And as if we can get above the 382, we're less likely to do that. Still can, even off of the 618. Technically, we can come down lower, but most likely it doesn't. Not you have more chances that she will come down for a double bottom if we do a 618. 618 is coming in at $268. Should probably go ahead and mark that little guy. And she just reclaimed a 236. Yeah, I'd give her a chance. So there's 263, I set the 0.5. And then right here about 268. Julio. SPL says H bar. Well, I got the 1 hour chart at Bybit. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's go back to the daily. Daily is below the non-moving average. That's not cool. That kind of sucks when that happens. Let's go from swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. Oh, she hit it. She nailed it. She hit the spot. It will hold. It's got a good chance to hold. We're hoping it will hold. It should hold. That's usually in a normal, healthy retracement. Well, I wouldn't say normal, healthy, but if this doesn't hold, then we're on danger of looking at the 272s. So we got to put this little guy out there. At 0.04 could, it's on the table, but we got a good chance to bounce right where we are. Stochastics are kind of buried at the bottom. RSI is at the bottom, is at 32. I'm just looking at my indicators. They look kind of spent a little bit, like maybe they could bounce back up. Non-moving average is up here about 0.05 cents. Price wouldn't want to kind of probably go back around their areas. But this particular Fibonacci is a good one. It's kind of your last resort. And so she starts doing something different than this, and you're like, you do you. Because it's probably going to get nasty, but if she can bounce here, we get, that is cool. That would give us some cool targets. Some resistance over here at 5 cents. That would definitely be true, but most notable target I would be looking for would be 5.6 cents. She'd have to come up and get above this area and probably retest it at 5 cents. And then just kind of start working our way up there. And from where we are now, that would be 15%, just on a regular spot. Let's come down to the smaller time frames here. It's a nice bounce. Cloud looks thick. It looks inviting. Maybe we can make our way up there. Non-moving average is above 21, and price is below both of them, so we could snap back over there. It could happen. Angles to the dangles, but are we above it? We're back in it. Could have made a possible bear trap there. What else we got? I'm not really getting it there. We're looking for a channel idea. Maybe close to it. Maybe close to it. I would say that looks more, that lines up better on this time frame anyway. Makes more sense to me, candle close. So that suggests that maybe H-bar could come back up to our Fibonacci area that we need to go 0.05. Shorter term time frame, that's about 4%, not a lot. If you had some leverage on it, it would probably do a little bit better for you, but right now, we'd like to see this be a double bottom. And if it does that, we got a belt line, that's what I call it. And then you got a possible measure move there. It takes you back up to these areas, close to our 618 Fibonacci. So there's a little confluence for another little excuse as to why we might be getting closer to that 5.546 cent area there. A little higher, but she'll have a struggle with these formations. They usually do. It takes them a while to figure out what they're doing, and then they come up, and then they get either flag out or get rejected there, or break above it and flag out above it a little bit, and then start trying to make their way up there. Our altcoins it's gonna take them a while to recover, in my personal opinion. Now, some of them probably took some big hits, but it still looks like the market's still got some steam to lose. They just bleeding us dry, man, bleeding us dry. There's some signs over here that maybe we found an area where we can have some support on our altcoins, maybe, but is it reversal? I'm not seeing signs of reversal, that we're ready to reverse and start to turn around and go the other way. I see some signs that we can kind of, stop the bleeding for a little bit, hang out until they make another run to try to drive us down again. That could happen. So we chop is basically the best way that I can say it is chop. Chop suey. Someone farted on that sell button, said Strega. Wouldn't be the first time it's happened in this chat room, I'm just saying. Not trying to call anybody out. Listen, you know when he farted. You know. But I was the only one that smelled it. So you thought. If you like INJ, if you liked her when she was $20, well, you'll definitely like her today when she's on sale for $15.50. It's crazy. We'll carry this little guy over. We've got let's zoom out. INJ trend line, that's a major. Don't you dare break through that. To me, I like these ideas. This is when I started looking at charts and thinking, I kind of want to buy. I'm on a 5-day chart, big ass trend line. We're at the bottom of this trend line again. It needs to hold. If it doesn't hold, well, where it's going to go would not be very pretty. It'd be like down to $7. That's not cool. That would pretty much, that would take all the wind out of the sales of INJ, in my opinion, if we break this trend line and hold that trend line. Now there's a 200 moving average down here. Well, you can see price wick down to touch those. Let's go to a smaller time frame, like 3-day. 3 days lost the 200. Let's go to the daily. That's a good one to go with. Right there she is. I knew she had to be here somewhere. Yeah, can't get away from her. She's there. There's something weird going on. Miss Lucy's usually in the picture there. Oh, time to make the donuts. Okay, so we're fighting. We lost. We're underneath Miss Lucy right now on the daily. So 800 moving average may be getting tested here. I'm just throwing that out there. We still got our trend line. There may be something. It's a chop, man. I just see a bunch of chop. I see a bunch of chop. So and this is. If you zoom out, it's an accumulation. It's going to be accumulation at these areas. So there might be some time to get INJ at some cheaper prices, and it looks like maybe $13.50 might be on the radar here. Let's see if we can narrow it down. Let's get a price prediction, shall we? Shall we call a price prediction? What kind of show would we be if we didn't call a price prediction? dive into the ether and talk to the spirits and see where price is gonna go. It's got that hopium smoke going. Swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. She's saying right here. She's saying, baby, come on over. Come on over and see me right here at 1461. But I'm like, can you go lower? I got a 1090 target. It might be on the radar. Let's check and see if it's valid or anything. Let's see if we got some other ideas that might support that theory. That I&J might be going down. Oh, did you move it? Dude, put it back. There's a reverse button. Thank gosh we got a reverse. We're on the daily. 800, 600, 300, 200. The momentum's there. It's there. When I see that, when I see these major moving averages spread out like that, that to me means that, well, this could be our possible range. All through here, this big old mishmash up to 26. I know it sounds crazy, $26 when we're sitting at 15, getting ready to go to 13, getting ready to go to 0. But it does. It's not the first. It's not his first little rodeo of being down at bottom. $16, $17 went up to $27, $10 move. It being at the bottom of this red trend line just gives me the hornies. You got the crypto hornies. What else would you call it? Because you can set the stop loss below this other wick over here if you want to be that anal about it. Sure, it's a great place to do it. If we make a lower low than that, then, well, probably not going to work out anyway. That's a pretty nice risk reward ratio right there. Just to get back to $22.40. 6.8 to 1. If you can handle it, if you can ride that puppy. We are in a falling channel, which although they can go long and strong and keep on the going, eventually they start finding a partial decline. I can't think of any better place to have a partial decline than down here at the Lucy line and the 800 moving average, where we just start to slowly kind of maybe round out a little bit and then break out of this sucker and see if we can take that measure move from a possible breakout area. I'm just going here, and it's suggesting third in line. We don't know where she's going to break out. We're just kind of speculating. But when she does break out, we'll take this measure move and put it right where she breaks out, and we're just kind of guesstimating. And I'm pulling a few other tricks with Fibonacci, but it does suggest that maybe $39 might be on the banquet menu. Also, might be around Christmas time before you ever see anything close to that. Who knows? Do you have the patience? Do you have the time? Sam Webb says pith. I feel like I need to. Oh, no, roundy rounds. Those rounded bottoms are said to pay the bill. They do pay the bills, but they just take a long time. When you got a nice rounded bottom, you don't want to just walk away from it. You want to spend some time with that little nice rounded bottom. Just a hugging and a pushing and a squeezing and a loving and the whatever, all those Journey songs right there. Because it's a long accumulation, so pith is under accumulation. Honestly, I mean, I know you got the narrative behind this, and I don't know. I mean, it kind of boils down to a guy named Mr. X for a big push for the narrative that I've seen. He has been wrong before, I'm just saying. Was it intentional or not? That's the question. So you got a nice possible rounded shape form is what I see, a nice big accumulation zone. Anywhere under 44 cents, in my personal opinion, is a good deal to buy this. And then when the market gets pumping and we're back up around the 80 cents, well, then you've doubled your money from buying at 40 cents. From 25 cents, that's a little bit better. If you can get it down here at 25 and under, where she's at now. Eventually, it should go back, at least back up to 80 cents. It could get higher. It could. But I tell you, I'm not... Oh, are we not over here? Can we not sign in? Well, be that way then. Well, you're here, aren't you? I was trying to look on Tokenmetrics to get an idea about Pith, but that didn't quite work out. Let's see what we can find over here. So you got Pith Network. It's got a market cap of just right under 1 billion. Under a billion. Can't you get up to 5, 10 billion? Maybe. So that would be maybe a 5 to 10x. She moves like molasses. Circulating supply is 3.6 billion. Out of a total supply of basically 10 billion. That's a lot of coins. Even a billion is a whole hell of a lot of coins. And then we got some projects that have 10, 20, 40, 50 billion. And then you got some that go crazy with trillions of coins. The bigger the circulating supply, or the bigger the bigger the supply, the longer it's going to take her to really move and make up that cheddar. Now she can, but it makes her slower and frustrating in my personal opinion. Its all-time high was 6 months ago at $1.15. Now hell yeah, for that, that's cool. Can we do that again? I would see the appeal for that. I would definitely be taking profits at $1.15. You made it up there? Because if she's going to go higher, I would look at 128 if you're looking for a little bit higher target, and 142. Those are two very special places dear to my heart. But I fully expect to come back someday and go, what? Just based on what we got going on from this high to this low. Will that happen? I think it will take longer than not. She will probably get choked out about 105 and 96 cents. It would probably be the most likely story that you will see, since we had such a steep retracement. She'll probably make it up to about 80 cents, get rejected there, eventually start making it up to 96 and 105. So you got some plays here. But for right now, man, Pith. She is in, if you believe in it, you got a great place to accumulate. Hoping that she doesn't make a lower low, because that would suck. If she was going to make a lower low, I'd be looking right here at this area, about 20 cents or 18.8. But she's at a nice area at 24, or she was. She bounced off of it, and that's an area where she should bounce, could bounce, a good area to bounce. If we can maintain that and not come down to the 886, which is just a little lower here, that little fib at 23 cents, we could still do that, but it's looking healthy right now. She's got a lot of work to do, don't get it twisted. I would much better see her bounce off of 24.5 right here, where we are, where we did bounce. Bouncing off of that can give you a nice little target in the short term.
Lipstick tastes like Candyland.
You could actually come up to 32 cents again.
Mind if I sit on your lap? Can you handle that?
And of course, I always want to have 30 cents right there for the 618.
I'm a thriller. Does my voice
So short term, this is a 4-hour time frame. From where we are to the 618, 16%. Get up here to 31, 32 cents. We're up to 26 cents. A possibility of maybe getting on a big old ass run, coming back up and retesting these areas at 40 cents, but you know, I wouldn't get too crazy about it. The first place that I see that's probably going to get a good rejection is going to be there about 29, 30 cents. Derek Adams asks, is Canto too risky? I have not had a good run with it. I've played it a couple of years ago, and I didn't like its performance then, and I can't say that I'm crazy about its performance now. Let's take a look at it. I haven't looked at it in a while. This one, I think it was EVMOS came out, and then I think Kanto did a copy of it or something. It kind of stole their thunder, and it was a. These are all short levels up here that, well, I never made it up there to short. Or tape prop. I guess it also tape profit areas too. Never got up there. I usually have a red box for a short plan. I don't remember what it was. That was a long time ago. But she has, ooh man, well, off the bat, you can put this out there that she's got to get above 8.5 cents because she's probably not even safe to touch until she gets above that. To be honest with you, that's a major area to lose. I mean, if we were looking at this as a channel idea, yeah, no, we would have a measure move for the width of this channel, and it would take us down to a negative quarter, a negative 25 cents. So that's not cool. Now she's likely to bounce right down here. No, she can't do it. She is down to 0.015. All right, let's look at the most recent move we got. Swing low to swing high. She's at the 382. Let's hope that did it. I got these two targets and they're really close together. They are really, really close together, so much that, but certain fib levels call for one or the other. But she's at one of the areas. You need to see her bounce here. She cannot bounce here, man. It's over. I wouldn't trust her as long as I could know her. I wouldn't trust her until she got above 8.5 cents to get back into the range. And if she does get back into that could be a strong move, because you break back into an actual range, and then you usually get it. Look, you use it from the bottoms, especially after you get a bear trap. I mean, you should get a strong move from that. I would expect one. So be waiting for that, in my personal opinion. So it looks rough. She's got a lot of stuff to work out. I'm sure a lot of people are sick of her and will be happy to sell whenever they get back to the areas where they got in, or, you know, even if they look like they're close to profit, some of them will jump out early. So you probably see a lot of sell pressure from people who got caught up and are tired of riding this down. The ones that got caught in it. Got some divergence here on the MACD. Look at that. That's kind of cool. You see how this is slanted up like that? That's a good sign. And price is slanted down. That suggests she may be flipping here. All right, for you Degens out there looking at trying to nail the bottoms, this technically might be. I meant the weekly though. This might be a bottom. I'm just saying, if you're that Degen trying to suck, hey man, nail the bottom. Well, do it, because your other chance is down here. And if you're a Degen, well, you're used to losing money and going in drawdown. Stochastics on the 4 hour are kind of topped out, so she's wanting to at least come back down a little bit. So you might get it at 0.011 for the old Degen out there. But there might be. You might have something. Ooh, baby. What is? Oh, wow. That's 189% just to come back up to that level of that support resistance area. Are you kidding me? To 0.034. I'm on the 4 hour time break. That is risky as all get out, but gosh darn it. I'm not going to do it. I got too many. But there might be a Degen play there. Let's do it. Just know this is a Degen play. Oh crap, you can't even do that, man. You can't. Dude. You'd have to play this one on a smaller time frame. Those percentages went crazy trying to get a stop loss, and it'd been 18%. This one's for the Degens. This one's for the 2 Degens that don't give a flying and can be patient enough to wait and see if it does anything. Not the best play, in my personal opinion. Not the best play, but there might be some profit. There might be a little something there. But you got to have the wabbles, though. If you got to have the wabbles. So I would say, yeah, she's a very risky, but she might have a nice payoff. It'd be worth putting a few dollars. What if you just put like $25 in that? Like one of those kind of plays, $25, like just a little, I can throw this money away, don't give a crap. And you get 150% return on that $25. Well, I don't know if that, what would you have? Yeah, you double it or more. Just getting up to that first area. And then if she starts taking off, you can add more at that to that trade and just build a little bit of a bag. And she goes to 8 cents, and then, my goodness, $25. 4x right there turned into 100, and whatever else was put in over here almost tripled. But now you look at it. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Looking at the market. Just want to take one more look at Bitcoin to see where she's laying her head tonight. This is kind of cool. She came down all the way down here, and 55, close to our 618. I still think she's got a chance to come back down to here, 55, 200. But we might, come. Remember we talked about rolling over, coming back up at 58,000, maybe rolling over there. So if you're looking to short Bitcoin, I would wait till we start getting up around 58.2. Because if you already tried to short it while she was down here, then, well, you're probably not very happy right now. You're probably like, I say shorting this market sucks. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow night, maybe even during the daytime, just depending on what's going on. Be safe, be careful. They're out there trying to shake us out of this market, and it looks rough, man. We got to keep an eye on it and be real, try to be realistic about it. But as much as everybody's calling for prices to go down, we've still not made a lower low, so technically we're still good. And until we get that lower low in, I mean, we can't panic too much, other than the scary ride that it might take going in that direction. I see that we got some chop, and we got a good chance to recover back to around 63,000. Will it happen? Probably it's not going to happen tomorrow. Probably if it were going to happen, I would say we're probably looking somewhere around Wednesday, Thursday-ish. But that's just my take on it. I'm just a turkey on the internet. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow night. Be careful. It's a mad world out there.
Come on, come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like you're so ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Fade out of the ground, you ain't no one. You will start, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you wish really was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my notice? Promise you're the same, running for the message.
So, I've been doing this thing called crypto trading. It's like buying and selling digital money like a garage sale, but without the rusty bicycles. You're a tough crowd tonight.
You know, but I really like crypto. They got some crazy terms. I love the terms they use, but this one, HODL, HODL, that one just sounds crazy. It sounds like somebody misspelled the word hoe. And they always say, just HODL, man. It's like they're giving financial advice with a speech impediment. And those charts, oh man, the charts. Man, I look at those charts and I feel like I'm reading a seismograph in an earthquake. Oh, look, it's going up. Nope, it's going up. It's going down. Maybe it's just doing the cha-cha, baby. But you ever notice how crypto traders, they're always talking about it going to the moon. It's like the universe's most ambitious field trip. Next stop, Mars. Just kidding. I can't afford a spaceship ticket right now. But I bought some Dogecoin once because, you know, why not invest in a coin that started as a meme? I'm waiting every day for the day that we have Rickroll coin. Every time you check your balance on your phone, you get Rickroll. And all them crypto people, they be like, buy the dip. And I'm like, what dip? Is this a financial fondue party? Do I need to bring my own cheese? But you know, in reality, crypto trading is a lot like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube with your eyes closed. You make a move, you hope it works out, and when it doesn't, you blame the algorithm. Stupid algorithm, always messing with your portfolio. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the show.